G'day folks, this is Raymond Foster. I hope you're doing great. Yesterday, a subject was brought up, alright, by an anti-white, where they were essentially expressing the anti-white meme pathogen of guilt, of white guilt, the psychological child abuse of instilling white guilt in people. What does that mean? That means telling us as white folk that we should be sorry, or that we have some form of responsibility. We have to make amends, they say, for the wrongs that or the so-called wrongs that our ancestors may or may not have done. But a son or a daughter is never guilty of the crimes of their father. That's an old saying. So in the same way, no white person today is responsible for any so-called wrongs that may or may not have happened in the past. So no white guilt. We have nothing to be sorry for because we didn't do anything. I know I didn't. So maybe you did something you need to be sorry for. But if you personally didn't do something to be sorry for, then you don't have to be sorry. Yeah? You don't say sorry for the stuff other people did. They can say sorry for themselves. Alright? So no, we don't say sorry for anything our ancestors have done. That's ridiculous. I'm not sorry. Why should I be sorry? To even expect someone to say sorry for something that someone else has done, just because of the colour of their skin, just because I have white skin, because I'm part of the white race, you would suggest that I say sorry for something other white people have done, just because we got the same colour skin. Why am I responsible? That's right. Racial discrimination because I'm white. No other reason. Nobody's going around saying that the non-white populations have to apologise or say sorry for the wrong that their people do and have done, which far exceeds any so-called wrong that the white race has ever done. We've done the most good, the least so-called bad. So if we actually are judging races on the basis of what they've done to people in the past, and we're trying to be fair and no, people need to be paid back for this wrong here and there, well, if that was the case, the white race has done the most good and the least wrong out of all races in existence. So if that was the truth, we should be getting thanked more as white people, not being asked to apologise, right? If that was true, it would be other races being asked to apologise. Lots of other races would be asked to apologise to the white race for the wrong they've done to us throughout history. But you never see that, and that never pops up, because it's obviously just anti-white racial discrimination, trying to get us to have trauma, psychological guilt, for something we've never even done, something we're not responsible for. Now, this goes into the subject of pride. The anti-whites will try to say, oh, well, you don't want to be responsible for the bad that other white people have done. You don't want to feel guilty and, hate yourself because of your race, and hate innocent white children because they are part of your race, because of the so-called evil that other whites have done. You don't want to do that. So, well, then you shouldn't be proud either. You shouldn't feel good about the things that your grandfather achieved or that your children achieve, and that when your kids go get good grades in school, shouldn't be proud of that. Nah, you should not support your family, should not support your children whatsoever. Why? Because you're white. Is there a dilemma if we say we're not responsible? I'm not saying sorry for anything any white person's ever done to any race anywhere on the planet ever. All right? Anyone asks me to say sorry, I'm going to laugh in their face. I'm going to ask them to say thank you. Thank me because I'm white. Thank me for the water, for the power, for the roads, for the cars. I could go on for days for the shit you owe me, bro, and you should be thanking me for. Okay? You drive to work every day. Okay? If you drive to work, you better be thanking the white man, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to drive to work. Yeah? So, I'm not saying sorry for nothing, but I will expect gratitude for what my race has gifted to the world. Why? Why is there no dilemma there? Because obviously, okay, we condemn immoral behavior. So that what is classed as wrong, or anything wrong that anyone's ever done, as a whole, our race, white people, we condemn that as immoral behavior, wrong. Yeah, we call it wrong as well. So that means we don't accept it as a part of who we are, a part of our character, traits of our race. So we have no responsibility for any wrong that any white person has ever done, ever in history. But we do have responsibility, and we should be thanked, okay? We are responsible for all the good that every white person has ever done. The bad, no, we have no responsibility. We don't have to say sorry for nothing. And if you expect us to say sorry, you're just a bigot who wants to racially discriminate because of the colour of my skin and abuse innocent white children. But you do need to say thank you to the white race and to me and white children, etc., for power, cars, running water, plumbing, all these things that we've gifted to the world. Hospitals, so children aren't dying of random diseases and things. Yeah? You do need to thank me and other white people for this. And we need to feel grateful and proud ourselves that our folk have produced this greatness, these gifts for the world. Cures for diseases, all types of brilliant things to make the world a better place. We need to, as white people, feel proud and have no shame in shouting this pride to the world, as I am right now. I walk around in public, I smile and nod while I'm making my videos, say good day, mate. Fucking love your race. Don't be a scumbag anti-white, okay? And vast majority of people think I'm legit mad cunt, and they agree, yeah? Vast majority of people agree with me, alright? So it's the same thing, say you're an Aboriginal. Do you want people to focus on the negative things that some Aboriginals have done and blame you for that? Should Aboriginal children be abused because some other Aboriginals years ago did fucked up shit? No, of course not. The Aboriginal children alive today, being born today, are not responsible and should not be abused or harmed because of the wrong that some other Aboriginals did generations ago, or even their own parents. Right? An Aboriginal child should not be blamed and punished for the actions of his parents. Obviously, you shouldn't be abusing innocent Aboriginal children just because some random Aboriginal man did something somewhere else, some other time, completely unrelated. I hope we can all agree that abusing innocent Aboriginal children is wrong. Racial discrimination, wrong, needs to stop. So in the same way, racial discrimination against white children is wrong. To abuse white children and say they should be sorry, or that they should have white guilt for the so-called wrongs of any ancestors, even their own parents, is disgusting racial discrimination on the basis of our race because we are members of Western kind. Yes, we can be very proud. We should be very proud. We should be working daily to consciously make ourselves more proud, all right? To consciously be more grateful and really contemplate the amazing gifts that our folk have given to the world. The fact that without the gifts of our people, the world would be a shithole, essentially, yeah? The whole world would be a shithole. And you wouldn't have no cars, no running water. There'd be mass starvations, famines, huge spread, outbreaks of diseases that would almost wipe out entire populations. Nothing nobody would be able to do about it. Countless children needlessly dying, right? But because of my people, the white race, those things aren't happening. People aren't starving to death as much as they were. Children aren't dying. We're building hospitals for people. We're building roads. We give them power and running water. Okay? That's huge. You go live in the bush for a week, Okay, you go live in a freaking bush for a week with nothing but a knife and the clothes on your back. I've done it plenty of times. And then you come back and tell me that you're not extremely grateful for what the white race has given to the world. Okay? Because you are, even if you don't realise it. Right? All the majority of people want to live in white nations, even the so-called oppressed non-whites. So they're obviously not oppressed because they're coming to live in the white nations because we're gifted the most to the world. We're the best at giving good things and doing good. So when it comes to the good we've done, all right, it far outweighs any bad any random white person did here or there. So it's obviously just racial discrimination, and they just hate us because of the colour of our skin. So they want to promote this racial guilt in our children to abuse children. All right, to traumatise them so they grow up traumatised, hating themselves, not understanding these things, not being proud of what our folk have gifted to the world, proud to be a member of Western kind. Yeah? Like, all folk should be proud of their culture, their people, their races. And we should all be working together to protect each other's cultures and races and stop all forms of racial discrimination. Again, that includes racial discrimination against my race. So, again, to conclude, if we were being fair there, clearly, we'd be considered the best. People would be thanking us for being white. No one would be asking us to apologise because we've done the least amount of wrong to anyone, and we've done the most amount of good. To conclude, we can clearly see, just by breaking down the anti-white meme pathogens, the anti-white pretexts used to justify abuse against innocent members of Western kind on the basis of their race. Okay, this racial discrimination against innocent white people, predominantly pushed against white children to fill them with trauma, guilt, psychologically damage them during their development in schooling and whatnot. We can clearly see that there is no just, noble intention behind this to pay back any wrongdoing or make up for or reparation. No, it's all nonsense just to create excuses in order to justify racial discrimination against innocent members of Western kind, simply for being white. Okay, because anti-whites hate us because we're white, and they want to white erase us and our culture and people from existence. Okay, so there's, again, clearly we've broken it down. There's no reason to be sorry about anything. Okay, again, even if your own father or your own mother did something wrong, you as a child, you are not responsible. You're not guilty for the crimes of your parents. So nobody can ask us to be sorry or have guilt for anything that our ancestors have ever done. But we can ask people to thank us and to be grateful and appreciate the good that our ancestors have done, the gifts that our race have given to the world. Okay? So no, we ain't guilty, we ain't sorry, and nobody can expect us to be. There's no justified rightful reason, there's no logical explanation as to why we could possibly be guilty or have to be guilty or have to say sorry for anything, because, again, I don't know about you, but I haven't done nothing wrong myself. I don't care what any other white person has done wrong in the past, but I've done nothing wrong myself, so I'm not guilty, and I'm not saying sorry because I haven't done nothing wrong. And if you think I should, there's something wrong with you. Okay? You need to say sorry to my race for abusing and racially discriminating against my people and my race. Okay? For even suggesting that I be sorry for anything that my race has ever done. Because that's racial discrimination against me on the basis of my race, because I'm white. And again, yes, we can be proud of the good our race has done. Why? Because we condemn the wrong. We don't accept the wrong as a part of our race. It doesn't represent who we are as a people. But all the good that any white person has ever done throughout history, the noble actions, the people recently in the Mud Army going out, the SES helpers going out to clean up after the floods, all those white people out there cleaning up after the floods, that's something that represents the white race. That's something you can point at and say, those people going out cleaning up because of the floods, people travelling across the whole nation, right? Mateship, like true Aussies, like back in the day, like the diggers, coming together to work together to help each other. That's a good trait. That is actually a trait of the white race. That is a representation of my race. That good, noble action to go out of your way to help other people, that does represent my race, the white race. So if you want to say thank you for that, for the fact that a part of our race is to go out and help other people, then you can. But if you want us to say sorry, or you expect me to have guilt for anything any white person has ever done wrong, no, I'm not going to. If anything, I'll help you arrest that person and I'll condemn them for the wrong that they have done, equally. And then again, I'll hold up the good that my race has done, like going out, helping people clean up after the floods. And then I'll put that in your face and say, that's my race, bro. You got a problem with my race? That's my race. That's the white race. We go out of our way, we help people who are in need. So if you want to say thank you, give me a thumbs up for being a white man, that's all good. But anything else, you better watch it, mate, because you're racially discriminating against me and my race. You're attacking my innocent white children with this nonsense, this racial bigotry, and it's not on. We're not going to tolerate it. We will not stand for it. Racial discrimination must come to an end. All forms of racial discrimination, all right, including racial discrimination against innocent white people. Don't go hating on people because of the color of their skin. Don't mistreat people because of the color of their skin. All right? Treat all people, no matter their race, no matter their background, no matter their faith, with respect and dignity and honor, including my race, the white race. Thanks. Take it easy.